Good morning, students. Welcome to BSc 2 4th semester Zoology online class. Today I am going to discuss on salivary glands, histology of salivary glands. The salivary glands in mammals are exocrine glands that produce saliva. Salivary glands are present in the mouth and they are exocrine glands. You know what are exocrine glands and endocrine glands? Exocrine glands are having ducts for secreting their secretions outside their cells. So they are called as exocrine glands. Salivary glands are exocrine glands that produce saliva. The glands are enclosed in a capsule of connective tissue and internally divided into lobules. Blood vessels, nerves enter the glands at the hilum and gradually branch out into the lobules. There are three types of paired salivary glands. How many types? Three paired salivary glands are there. Three types of paired salivary glands. They are parotid, sublingual, and submaxillary glands. Look here. This is one pair, this is another pair, and this is another pair. Okay. Thus, there are three pairs of salivary glands. So, among the three pairs, this is the largest pair of the salivary gland. This is what parotid gland. This is called parotid gland, sublingual glands, and submandibular glands. Clear? So, parotid glands present in front of each ear, just below it, on either side of the face, right? This is parotid gland. Parotid gland produce saliva and it is poured into the buccal cavity. Sublingual gland, this is sublingual gland just below the tongue. These glands are present and they open their secretions into the buccal cavity. And submandibular glands are present at the lower jaw. Okay, at the angle of lower jaw, submandibular glands are present. They also secrete their contents into the buccal cavity through their own ducts. So there are three types of paired salivary glands. So first pair is parotid gland. These are situated one on either side of the face, below and in front of the ears. Below and in front of the ears. These are formed of opaque serous cells, not serous, serous cells. Serous cells are pyramidal in shape and are joined usually to form spherical mass of cells called acinus or acini, alveolus, with a small lumen in the center. So look here, these are acini or alveoli. So each alveoli composed of pyramidal shaped serous glands. These are serous glands. Can you see here? These are pyramidal in shape. Pyramidal in shape. At the center cavity is present. They secrete their content into the cavity and that cavity joins to other duct. So all ducts together open into the mouth through a large duct. Okay. So these are acini. These are acini. These are mucous glands. Mucous glands. These are mucus secreting cells, and these are secretory ducts. Here you can see these are fat bodies. Fat bodies. These are okay. So when you observe the section of salivary glands under microscope, it would be looking like this. Okay, so that's about parotid gland. parotid gland. Spherical mass cells called the small lumen in the center. Numerous alveoli are embedded in connective tissue, stroma, which contains fat cells. Serous cells secrete zymogen granules, a precursor of amylase or ptyalin. Amylase, salivary amylase, is produced by its precursor called zymogen granules. Okay. Next, sublingual glands. These are found in mucous membrane on the floor of the buccal cavity under the tongue. The alveoli are mucous and mixed alveoli. Mucous and mixed alveoli, and that means the sublingual glands produce mucus as well as the saliva. The pure serous alveoli are lacking. Hence, the gland is predominantly mucus secreting. So, sublingual glands secrete mainly mucus. Sublingual glands are lacking intercalary duct and secretory ducts are few. And submaxillary or submandibular gland. These are found within angles of the lower jaws. These contain both serous cells and mucous cells, but predominantly serous, means not mucus producing. The mucous cells are grouped around the lumen of alveolus. The serous cells form a cap outside the mucous cells called demulons of Giannuzzi. Serous cells pour their secretions into the lumen through minute channels extending between the mucous cells. Okay, next, so these are different salivary glands. This one is parotid gland, sublingual gland. Sublingual gland is mainly mucus secreting. Submandibular and parotid gland, they produce this is mainly saliva secreting, the secretion containing enzymes. Here enzymes plus mucus, both are secreted by the parotid gland. So this is the histological part. You can see it. So these are acini. These are acini or alveoli. These alveoli are spherical, bulb-like structures. Their wall is lined by glandular cells, and they secrete their content into the cavity, and from here they go to here, intercalated duct and secretory duct like that. See, look here. These are mucus acinus. This one is mucus acinus having mucus secreting cells. And this is serous acinus. Watery fluid is secreted by this acinus. Its secretion is also having enzymes. Look here. Outside these acini, myoepithelial cells are present. These myoepithelial cells, what they do, they contract. As a result, the content of these acini is squeezed into the duct. So this is intercalated intercalated duct. Several intercalated duct open into striated duct. So this from striated duct, it is released outside into the mouth. So serous acini, these are mucus cells, mucus secreting cells present in the salivary glands. So here you can see these are mucus secreting cells. These are acinar cells. Acinar cells, outside the acinar cells, what are present? Demulon of serous cells. So these are serous cells, pyramidal shaped cells. They secrete their content into the intercalated duct. This is intercalated duct. All acini release their secretions into the intercalated duct. From intercalated duct it goes to secretory duct. Secretory duct is lined by columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. Here cuboidal cells are present. Somewhat cuboidal cells. So how their secretions are moving from the salivary glands to mouth, that you can see here. Secretions produced in alveoli, they go to a system of ducts. From there it goes to intercalated duct. From intercalated ducts it goes to the striated ducts. Striated ducts are having lined by flattened cells, okay, or columnar cells. Next it goes to excretory duct, large ducts. These excretory ducts open into the mouth and they are lined by simple columnar epithelium. So salivary glands are typical compound tubular glands in which glandular cells lie within the supporting framework of connective tissue stroma, which contains fat cells carrying blood vessels, lymphatic and nerves. The glandular cells are arranged in a single layer around a central cavity which receives the secretion from the surrounding cells. Such unit is called an acinus or alveolus. So we already observed it. So this is acinus. You can see it, acinus. So this acinus having pyramidal shaped serous cells. They secrete their content into the cavity, this central cavity. Then the alveolus contains delicate intracellular canaliculi which open into intercalary duct lined by flattened cells. Intercalary ducts in turn join to form striated ducts. These drain into ducts situated between the lobes of the gland. The main duct of the salivary glands ultimately empties into the mouth. Thus, different ducts are formed. And a number of alveoli, their intercalary ducts and the secretory ducts are all together form lobule, and several lobules form a lobe. Lobe has lobules. Lobules are made up of alveoli, intercalary ducts, secretory ducts, right? All together. The lobules as well as the lobes are bonded externally by connective tissue sheath. Connective tissue sheath. So that's about the histological details of the salivary glands. Now let us discuss the functions of salivary glands. Functions. The major and minor salivary glands make saliva. So what we discussed so far, that is about major salivary glands. Minor salivary glands are also there in the buccal cavity or oral cavity, right? So all together, all glands secretions together known as saliva. The saliva keeps the mouth and other parts of the digestive system moist. Our mouth and digestive system is moist because of the secretion of saliva. So saliva also helps break down carbohydrates with the salivary amylase, formerly known as ptyalin. You know that carbohydrate digestion is started from the mouth. So in mouth, the food is mixed with the saliva. Saliva has salivary amylase. Salivary amylase acts on polysaccharide, glycogen or starch. So that starch is converted into disaccharide, maltose, by the action of salivary amylase. Then it lubricates the passage of food down from the oropharynx to stomach. It lubricates the passage of food down from the oropharynx to the stomach. So it has to move from buccal cavity to esophagus or stomach. For that passage, the saliva makes the passage lubricant. It lubricates. The food can easily pass through the esophagus because of the presence of saliva. Saliva also has elements that help to neutralize the acid responsible for tooth decay. This is called buffer action. So saliva is also having some buffering elements which control the acidic nature of the saliva, so that the tooth decay is controlled. So saliva also has elements that help to neutralize the acid responsible for tooth decay. This is called buffer action. Next, the antibacterial properties within saliva help to sustain neutral balance and prevent the development of germs. So antibacterial property is also present in the saliva. See, lysozyme is there. Lysozyme kills bacteria. So germs are killed by saliva. So these are the few functions of saliva or salivary glands. Next, coming to assignments. So what is saliva? Which enzyme is present in saliva? Write two functions of salivary glands. What is saliva? Which enzyme is present in saliva? Write two functions of salivary glands. So these are the assignments on this topic. So with this we have completed the histological informations about the salivary glands. Thank you.